With me now to discuss is Shawn Zigelstein, broker and team leader at Royal LePage. Thank you so much, Shawn, for being with us this morning. So talk to us more about this survey and what you find when it comes to Canadians' attitudes around owning American property.
Well, I think it's really interesting because, they're our closest partner, our closest neighbor. It made sense for so many years for people to go south, and especially the snowbirds love going down there in November, coming back in the early spring. And of course, with a little bit of political, we'll say, instability over the last couple of years, their thought process has changed a little bit. And the thought process now has been, according to our survey, to move back some money back to Canada and maybe invest back in the Canadian market rather than have it down south.
All right, so let's talk about the impact of that next, beginning first of all with the U.S. I mean, so many people have homes in Florida or Arizona, California. Will that make a dent in the real estate market there if Canadians start selling?
It's hard to say what the exact numbers are that people are going to start to move with and start to unload those properties. I think the U.S. real estate market is a very touchy market in certain areas, simply because of the fact that you're going to have some areas that are still going to be strong markets, despite Canadians potentially selling their properties. And then you're going to have some others that may feel a little bit of effect, especially if it's a lot of Canadians in one area. There are some specific areas that there's a flock of Canadians that go down to. And if that group decides to now move north again, what's going to happen? Of course, you're going to see some increased inventory and then potentially some price drops down in that U.S. market as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking specifically of South Florida as you explain that. So those who are selling, what kind of prices, what kind of, are they, I mean, a lot of people have had property in the family for decades. They're generational properties. So are they getting a good return?
Well, I don't know if they're getting good return. I think they look at it from a couple of different standpoints. Number one, do they want to invest their money back into the United States right now? So it may not just be a financial move that they want to make. It may be the thought process of economics down there. But they're also potentially winning a little bit when it comes down to the interest rate difference as well, right? When you look at the interest rates of what you can get up down there and what you're getting up here, and then plus the exchange rate on your dollar. I know a lot of people that purchased properties when we were almost at par. Well, right away, they're making an extra 30 to 35% just on the exchange rate. So they're going to be making money on those properties, even if they're selling them for the same price, which they're not, because they have increased over the years. But I think a lot of people are just looking at it from not necessarily just a monetary standpoint. They're looking at it from, do we want to put more money into the U.S. right now, spend our money there, go out to restaurants, go out to entertainment venues and such like that? I don't think they're doing it as much as they were in the past.
And so if they do decide to reinvest here in Canada, what sort of markets or regions would that be in?
I don't think they'll look in the major city centers, just because I think that the affordability is still not there. But could they go to cottage country? Could they go outside of those major city centers, go out to the East Coast? Maybe they're going to go north. Maybe they're going to invest into Quebec, into cottages there or condominiums there that they might be able to get into in recreational areas. Maybe they want to get into skiing a little bit more in the winter rather than going to the sun destinations for now. And I don't think this is a full-time change. I don't think this is a change that's going to happen and people will never go back down to the U.S. I think really once we get some more stability happening in the marketplace, I think people will still want to be down in warmer destinations, spending their winters down there if that's their train of thought and want to get away from the snow.
Shawn, I have to ask you lastly, are you surprised that even the buy Canadian sentiment is hitting the real estate market? I mean, Canadians are, by the sounds of it, taking this pretty darn seriously.
I think they are. I think we kind of took it a little bit personally, and Canadians were always the ones saying, sorry, we're all the ones, apologizing for everything. But I think at this point, we felt a little bit hurt. And I think most Canadians are not, traveling as much to the United States as they did in the past. Some will not travel at all. I think they're trying to reinvest. I think they're trying to see this wonderful country that we have and travel across this country and see what it has to offer as well, because Canada is a great place to live, a great place to be, and there's so many opportunities here as well.
Shawn, thanks so much. Glad you could join us today.
Thanks so much, Marcia. Take care.